World Championship Cinema, what the world is listening to. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of World Championship Cinema. I'm your host, Diego Santos, and with me is...
Hi, I'm Rich Raperto. I'm here to join Diego, and we're going to have some fun watching some films. What are we going to be watching tonight, Diego?
Reviewing. We just finished watching Ricochet, which, I made a mistake. I thought it was the autobiography of one Trevor Mann.
But unfortunately it wasn't.
But instead it was the Denzel Washington versus John Lithgow movie.
Yes, and also the legendary rapper himself, Ice-T, is in the movie as well. So you got to know it was awesome. And a fun little fact that me and Diego discovered that Ice-T made this movie the same year that he made New Jack City. So it kind of like he didn't have to change character in any way, shape, or form. It's just like he got off the set of New Jack City and went to the set of Ricochet. Stay in character, Ice. That's pretty much what it was. But, Diego, what did you think of Ricochet? Or rather, why don't you explain to the audience why you watched the movie? Because...
Well, in addition... Well, you know, in happenstance, since it's not a biography of one Ricochet who is a professional wrestler, at least Jesse the Body Ventura was in it. And boy, howdy, did he put in quite the performance.
Now, how would you rate this performance? Because remember, he had two great scenes, or he was two great characters in Predator, one of my all-time favorite movies, and The Running Man. How would you rate his performance in Ricochet?
So, from a scale of Abraxas to Predator, I rate this, the Jesse the Body story on NBC. Because, man, he was only in it for like maybe 30 seconds of screen time. He had a quick fight scene with John Lithgow. Yeah, he pretty much jobbed out to John Lithgow twice. Not once, but twice. Did the job, baby.
And he also did the job right after he finished cutting a promo on friggin' John Lithgow when they were sharing the prison cell. And then it just went downhill for the Body. But, hey, he rebounded. So, but overall, the story itself wasn't bad, sans any more appearances from the Body. But Ricochet is like one of those little hidden 90s gems. I totally recommend it, even if you're not a fan of one Jesse Ventura. But check it out, regardless. It's got Denzel Washington in it.
So, the story is basically boy meets girl, boy arrests criminal, criminal comes out for revenge, gives boy the clap. And that's pretty
Not directly, indirectly.
But... Well, indirectly the clap. So, you know what? To be honest, when I saw the scene with the hooker coming, I was like, he's going to AIDS him to death. But, so I'm glad there was a message of safe sex in this thing, because, you know, Lord knows we need it.
Damn, so we had a little fucking salt to that movie. Do and tell them about also the stunt scene towards the end.
No, the beginning.
Oh, that was actually fun too.
The basketball scene. So we open up on a basketball scene. It's Denzel and Kevin Pollak.
Yeah, as his friend Larry
versus Ice-T and this fat dude named RC.
Yeah, and
the stuntman from Denzel was. It was like, who was casting the stuntman from Denzel? It was a totally different body, different hair, and literally different shade of color.
That was freaking funny. There's one scene where he's going up for a layup, and you just see first Denzel, and then the scene completes with just the stuntman doing like a slam dunk. It's like, what the hell?
You remember in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Yeah.
With the mom stunt scene? It was pretty much that level, where I was like, it wasn't even...
When did the mom get a mustache and become a short white guy? Yeah.
That's funny. When I was a kid, I thought that was a legitimate accident. I was a kid, I went over, man, I'm like, you see, the stuntman looks nothing like the mom.
But that's how it felt like throughout this whole movie. And there's one scene, which I was going to get to, it's towards the end, where Denzel has to make his escape. Because if you watch the movie, you get to what I'm pretty much explaining. But the stuntman, once again, shows up. But this look, I know it's the early 90s. I guess CGI wasn't all that prevalent. We didn't get that until like Terminator 2. But there's just one scene where it's just like, if this was real life, Denzel and his stuntman would have been dead because he actually plants explosives throughout this building to explode. And to make his escape, he actually made this sort of like escape hatch out of like garbage cans and bags to get out of the building when it explodes. But he lands so perfectly, like no botch or anything like that. It just went swoop, like swish, like for those who love the basketball. It was just like that perfectly. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Everything else explodes like to a crisp, and he's perfectly fine.
Jumps blindly in through a rooftop shard of glass, pane of glass, and the hole that he has to fit in is so precise.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this movie was
It was just fucking over. It was the early '90s, like I said. It was still over the top type stuff with like men who would later on win Oscars that they shed their action.
Did Lithgow win an Oscar? No,
but Denzel has.
Brother Denzel has. Yeah. Did he already win an Oscar at this point?
He won 2. He had won one for that movie Glory.
I'm guessing Glory, and I feel like that was '88.
Yeah, and then he ended up winning another Oscar for, I believe, Malcolm X. And then just recently, Training Day. So,
and I'm pretty sure. I feel like Training Day might have been the first one.
no, the first I believe is for Glory, but
No, but Glory. I mean,
yeah.
Glory was like a supporting actor.
Oh yeah, okay, not lead.
Yeah. So
He got the IC belt.
So
He didn't get the
Glory.
world
Yeah.
title.
So Glory was definitely was a whatever, and then I think Training Day was the first
as a leading.
as a.
Oh, okay. So they pushed him. He was the IC champ, and then he became world champ. So, yeah. But good for him. He turned out just.
All he had to do was just play a heel, and boom, they put the strap on you. You know, certain people, you need the heel turn before you could even.
I agree.
Before you get the push, you know. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know,
But,
like this one guy. You might have heard of him. His name is Dwayne Johnson.
oh, guy, yeah.
When he was a white meat babyface, we hated him. Second he turned heel, boom, biggest star of the late '90s.
Yeah, but I guess nowadays he really likes to live that heel gimmick up. But it works for him. It does, because he's one of those guys that he's like the badass face that everybody loves. But when he turns heel, you love him even more. It's like Ric Flair or whoever else you like to think, Hollywood Hogan.
So random fact about this movie, the news reporter lady. Well, random fact about this movie. It's in a shared cinematic universe with
Die Hard?
With Die Hard.
Oh, wow.
Because the news reporter lady is the exact same character as that Die Hard.
Oh.
Yeah, I just looked at her right now. Gail Wallens.
Oh.
Because you recognize where she was from.
Yeah, because also it's like the same people that did the music for Die Hard. Was it Alan Silvestri did the music for that? You can totally hear it. And he also did the music for Predator. Jesse Ventura.
Silvestri's always getting Silvestri gigs.
Yes, he does.
I bet you guys didn't know that. Jesse the Body. So I don't know. All right, so it's weird. It's weird because I know I mentioned that we're gonna start recommending things on this podcast, but can you recommend anything of Jesse the Body Ventura's like match wise?
I don't know, because if you can find it on any type of like YouTube or whatever, he always says in his shoot interviews that he had great matches with Jimmy Snuka. And this was in the AWA days. For those of you who are a little younger, the AWA was another promotion that was started by Vern Gagne from Minnesota. A lot of guys like Ventura, Hogan, Adrian Adonis, they all got their break there. But he always said that he wasn't always a good, hand in the ring. But if he had someone he could work off of, it would work perfectly, because he wanted to remain being that heel. And he always said Jimmy Snuka was one of his favorite opponents to work a program with. Him and Tito Santana. Chico. You could probably, like I said, I don't know if they would probably be on Peacock or like the WWE, whatever they have.
All right. I mean, we could leave a link in the comments section or whatever, but there is a video on YouTube. It's Andre the Giant, the Junkyard Dog, and Jimmy Snuka versus... Wait, I might count my chickens before my hatch. Big John Studd, Ken Patera, and Jesse the Body.
Oh, okay. Or if you could also find him and Barry O, just for shits and giggles. Barry O is the older brother of Randy Orton.
Senior?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was Randy Orton's brother.
No, Barry O was like his uncle.
Oh, okay. There we go.
The Jobber from the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that was
that was Bob Orton's brother.
Bob Orton Jr. Oh, okay. Well, he had like a real entertaining match that kind of looked like a squash between him and Barrio. It was like the weirdest like program, but you could probably find the match that he had at MSG with
Okay,
him and Barrio.
yeah, there is. Oh, no.
So,
No.
I can also say if you can find the match with him and Adonis versus Brunzel and Greg Gagne, that's a good tag team match. He was always good as a tag team wrestler. Singles was sort of, iffy, but he always said that if you put him with like a really good baby face, you'll get a good match out of him. And he always said Snuka and Santana were his best two programs. So, and Diego?
I mean, I have for Jesse as an actual wrestler, I got nothing.
Oh, okay.
like to me, I've always known him as doing commentary. So doing commentary, in WCW, they gave him, they let him do whatever he wanted.
Yeah, and that was friggin' gold, man. But I know that sort of ruffled the feathers of Tony Schiavone, but then Jesse would leave.
All right, well, I just found the match that's allegedly from April 20th, 420, 1985, of Jesse Ventura versus Hulk Hogan.
Ooh, okay.
So, from a WWF card in the Twin Cities. This movie kept bringing up the Twin Towers nonstop, and it wasn't even the real Twin Towers. It was like these fake towers that they kept bringing up this entire movie.
You just wanted to bring that up. Okay.
Yeah, just like that's like the main that's like the plot of the movie. It's like nonstop, like making sure these towers don't collapse. And now here we are.
Yes, but overall,
there's so many kids that, I don't want to say kids, but people that come to my job that are like, were born between like, I gotta do the math. For like definitely like before like 2003 and like between like 98 and 2003, and every time I look at them, I'm
97 the youngest.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow. I'm like, guys, you guys weren't even alive when 9/11 happened. Like 2024 minus 20. Yeah, so 2003 when I was scanning the idea of it's like someone who just turned 21.
Wow.
So they weren't even alive during 9/11.
Nope. They came later.
So like they don't even know like how like. I don't know. Sorry, this podcast took a turn.
Because you brought up Twin Towers now.
No, they kept bringing it up over and over again. Like, we gotta see the towers. We gotta see the towers. And I'm like, all right, well, we know where the climax of the movie's gonna be.
The towers were very important because remember the character Denzel was playing. He was like a lawyer and he was trying to build like a youth center around these towers, but it was like in the middle of gangland, or especially the character Ice-T played. He was like the main drug dealer that you find out later, and he's
Pop
like,
quiz, Rich. What's Ice-T's character's name?
Oh, Odessa.
Odessa
was planning to like be that route, but he was like, no, I'll keep it holy ground and stuff like that, not to mess with the kids, because we all know what you're selling. And he used a gimmick grenade, but you got to watch it. I'm not going to spoil it too much.
That's what this podcast is for.
Oh, okay.
Spoiling everything.
He tries to use a scare tactic, and he has a grenade, and he pulls the pin. He's like, yo, I'm not afraid to die.
Who's he? Pronouns, pal.
Oh, that would be Denzel's character.
What's Denzel's name?
Oh, let's see. I almost said Joey Styles. Nick Styles.
Nick Styles.
There we go.
Joey Styles is his cousin.
Yeah, and AJ Styles,
the little brother.
Twice removed. So he threatens like, yo, and I'll blow up the whole building, because they're pretty much, that's all where the drugs are made. So you have all those chemicals there. It can go boom. So Ice-T's character, Odessa, decides, all right, cool. We'll barter a truce. So he's leaving, and he's there with his partner, Larry, and he goes, oh.
Played by Kevin Pollak.
Yes. And
the poor man's Kevin Spacey. But the better human being than Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
Hopefully. Kevin Pollak, you better stay straight and narrow. Don't embarrass me.
Keep doing those Shatner impressions. So he shows him like, oh, the grenade wasn't real. It was like a lighter. And I'm like, okay. So he used a gimmick grenade. And also, a fun little fact about said gimmick grenade, it was a frag grenade. There we go. I'm sorry. Fucking tongue-tied. And the only person that would have gotten hurt or killed would have been Denzel, because it would just explode into little pieces. That's it. It wasn't an explosive type of grenade. So if I'm wrong on this, any folks that know about grenades, you can always correct me on that. But other than that, yeah, I would totally check it out. And so, Diego, any other comments you would like to make about
I would like to say that this movie would have been much. What do you think about Denzel Washington's mustache?
Oh, the molestache?
The
Yeah,
molestache.
yeah, nah. That needs to go. Like he could have done like a goatee or something. It was the '90s, but I guess they were slowly phasing out the molestaches. So, but whoever weirdly made a comeback. So,
Everything's making a comeback. Nerds are have mullets and
oh jeez.
mustaches and Dominic Mysterio. Just like the late,
Oh, his
all,
mullet is epic.
all the ladies are swooning for Dominic.
Oh,
I'm presuming.
yep. But no, his mullet is very epic. But overall, what'd you think of Ricochet?
Ricochet was a fun ride. I mean, it was fucking stupid, but I loved it. Like it's just like
It needed more of the body, McMahon. That's what it needed. So
it was a fun '90s movie.
Yeah.
Budget of 19 million, box office 21 million.
not bad. And that's actually considered a bust for Denzel, or friggin' one of his first bad movies. But hey, they all can't be Malcolm X or the Mighty Quinn.
And they all, wow, the Mighty Quinn. Did we just become a Denzel podcast? Let's just do Denzel movies.
Yeah.
Let's not even do wrestling movies anymore.
Yeah.
We're now called World Championship Denzel.
Denzel should have been the champion, not what's his name. I won the WCW title.
Booker T.
No, Booker T was deserving of that title. Talking about the actor.
Oh, David Arquette.
Yeah, should have put the title on Denzel, man. He would have got freaking butts in the seats. But what do I know?
What do we know? I mean, look at us booking something that happened over almost 30 years ago. That's right, David Arquette. You're probably a nice guy.
Yes.
Wait, does he count for this podcast?
Now he does. We're gonna shoehorn him in.
Right? Like, I think we can do scary movies because David Arquette kind of became a serious wrestler over the pandemic.
That's a very big possibility.
All right. That's gonna be a staff meeting. We're gonna have some other time.
Yes.
But I think if we have anything else to talk about this movie, we'll bring it up. But yeah, this is our first time coming back, so Rich and I try this to reboot this podcast every few years. It's always my fault, but
The clap.
we were like the clap, man.
There
It's
you
good. We might not be here today, but we'll be back, baby. We'll be back, baby. Give yourself the clap.
Yes. All right.
It's funny when Scotty Riggs was doing that gimmick, I had no idea what the double entendre. I was like, all right, we're clapping, and like everyone's looking at me like I'm a nerd because I was so innocent back then.
Tee-hee, if he only knew.
So that's gonna be it. I guess that's gonna be it for this episode. We're trying to keep it short. So thank you for listening, and any last words, Rich?
No, none at all.
All right, so watch Jesse the Body versus Hulk Hogan, and we're gonna leave the link somewhere. John Lithgow, he was great in Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone.
Ooh, there's another wrestling-related celebrity.
Who?
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah, but I mean he's never actually wrestled, but
Yeah.
he's
Another guy that should have.
But all right. So I'm just gonna stop right here and just put a closing note later.